80% to 90% are going to look at page 2, 50% are going to look at page 3, 30% are going to look at page 4, 10% are going to look at page 5, and by page 6, everyone's gone. You're the only one now looking at these products, okay? So you start searching and looking through them. And you look at them one by one, and you ask yourself the question, do I believe that this might resonate and sell in my market? Yo, Chris Blair here. How you guys doing? Cheers. I'm coming to you guys from Kyoto. Obviously, I'm a little too close. I'll move back a little bit there. Sorry about that. Beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Kyoto. Sunny. Just was out there walking around. I walked around for a couple hours, just enjoying the good weather, enjoying the good life. You know, making money online. It's fucking awesome, guys. I mean, to have this kind of freedom is amazing. Anyway, so I'm not here to talk about how my life or anything like that. I'm here to talk about how you can sell thousands of units a week online. It's totally possible. There's people who are doing it. Okay, so it's not some pipe dream, right? I mean, I'm not gonna blow smoke up your butt and say it's gonna be easy, right? Because it's not as easy as a lot of gurus and trainers like to make it out to be. You're gonna have to put some work in, right? You're gonna have to be consistent about testing, right, and doing things right in your business to make it happen. And honestly, I think you should get the right guidance. But we'll save that for the end of the video. But anyway, what's most important though is often what a lot of people don't think is most important. Okay, so I make these videos a lot, and there's a serious problem in the marketplace, and that is when I talk about Facebook ads, any sort of traffic strategy. My God, do my videos get views? Tons of views. But what you're missing is that Facebook ads are merely for testing and scaling. That's it. It's just gasoline in a car. You got to have the car, and you got to have the engine. And the car, for the car, is your website, and your engine is your products you're offering. Okay. So now I want to talk about that, right? Why is, I mean, guys saw, I just posted a screenshot, right, of one of my students, right, who's in the last 2 months, right, his site was completely struggling, right, and then set up for coaching, and in the last 2 months, he's doing $150,000 in sales, okay? And guys, I've been doing this coaching since 2014, okay? And successful student after successful student after successful student. Not all my students are successful. I'm not going to sit there and lie to you and tell you there is, and that would be bullshit. But a good number of them. I mean, more than half. I mean, by the way, that's a high rate. I mean, compared to other trainers and coaches, right? So, well above 50% of my students are successful, right? And I don't keep an exact number, but the point I'm trying to say is, look, there's a reason why my coaches students are consistently successful, right? And why Custom Cat, the number one biggest print-on-demand supplier out there, personally recommends and endorse my training to their students, not to their members, right? And they've been doing it for years. Is because my private coaching students continue to get results, and that's why. Okay, so what is the difference? What is the difference between what I teach? By the way, I'm going to give you guys some incredible free value in this video. So hold on a second. What I teach and what others people teach, right? I focus on products. I tell my students the number one most important thing in your business is products, period. You should be spending hours and hours and hours a day daydreaming about products if you're not making sales. And that's the thing. People don't like to focus on that. They want to focus on mastering Facebook tricks and becoming a Facebook ninja. You don't have to be a Facebook ninja to make sales. Facebook ninja tricks are great for maximizing your profit and scaling once you have something that's working. Okay, so I want to give you guys some total value for free. Whether you sign up join my mastermind, of course, or not, or whether you sign up for my coaching or not, I want to give these two incredible methods for finding winning products. Okay, one for print on demand, and one for dropshipping. And then I also want to talk about why spy softwares are a bad idea. Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to talk about why spy softwares are a bad idea first. I was going to do the opposite order, but I changed my mind. Okay, and the reason why is it leads to a key point. Okay, the reason why most sellers are failing, right, is because they're throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks. And that's literally what they're doing. They're literally taking shit and they're throwing it at the wall and they're hoping it sticks. They're not spending a lot of time and effort thinking about their products. They're just going on the AliExpress, Alibaba, looking at the best sellers, right? Well, the previous best sellers. Like, keep in mind that every single person who's dropshipping is doing that too. So you're just selling the exact same crap that they are, and you're hoping that you're lucky, your timing is lucky, you're one of the first ones in the market and you have success. Guys, those are followers. You know what happens to the sheep when they follow the herder to the slaughterhouse? They get slaughtered. With dropshipping, the people who go after the best sellers are usually the ones that are too late. That trend is already over. It's like investing in stocks that you see have risen up 200%, 300%, 400%, and there's a big article on them in the Wall Street Journal. By the time you read about it in the Wall Street Journal, it's too late. Okay, so by the time a AliExpress product appears in the best sellers, it's too late. That product's been pounded hard by successful sellers like me. Okay? All right, so what do? Okay, great. Well, right. I know for the best sellers. Well, if I use spy software and find the recent sellers, right? That may be a little bit better, but here's the thing. Everyone out there is using spy software. I see it being taught because it's taught as a magic bullet solution, easy solution. Hey, just go out and use spy software, find out what's selling right now, and copy it. Well, so every other asshole's doing that too. 1,000 people doing that today. Just think about that, guys. I mean, if you look at some of these shopper groups, there's massive groups, especially the dropship group, not the print-on-demand groups that I run, but the dropship groups. Thousands of people are doing that every day. So you are literally one of 1,000 people copying that product idea. Okay, Chris, so you convinced me that just copying these ideas and stuff like that and going to the best sellers for dropshipping is not a good idea. Well, what do? What do you suggest? What I'm going to suggest requires you to be slightly better. Requires you to learn your niche and get to know your niche. Okay? So first of all, the reason why is to be able to effectively pull off what I'm about to suggest, you got to have an understanding of your niche. Therefore, if you're running a general store playing over multiple niches, it's probably not a good idea. I suggest you do 1, 2, maybe 3 at the most. Okay? So what do? Okay, what's the solution? Okay, so first of all, research niche. Understand what makes your customer tick. What resonates with them. Okay? That's step 1. Now, I said I was going to give 1 idea for dropshipping, 1 idea for print-on-demand, but I decided, as I'm doing this video, to give out a second one. I'm going to give out a second idea for dropshipping. 2 ideas for dropshipping. Okay? All right, so let's just say you're selling photography necklaces. Okay? We're just going to use photography necklace as an example because that's a niche that I've had a lot of success with for dropshipping in the past, personally. All right, so, back when I was doing dropshipping, I've done dropshipping for a long time, but guys, don't think that because I haven't done dropshipping for a long time, I don't know about it because I follow it very, very closely, and at any given time, I'll have 3 to 4 private coaching students, or it varies, but almost all of them, all the time, there's at least one of them that's dropshipping. And there's often this hybrid dropshipping and hybrid print-on-demand, okay? Even though I now do 100% print-on-demand, as I've been clear with since 2016, I've been solely focused on print-on-demand. But I had years of dropshipping success before that. Okay, and I've worked with people since 2016 who do dropshipping, so I'm very up to date here. Okay, so here's what you do. Okay, first of all, once you have a base knowledge of the photography niche, and we're going to use photography niche as an example, okay, and you want to search photography necklaces, okay, it's simple. I want you to go search photography necklaces on AliExpress, sort by most relevant or sort by best sellers, it doesn't matter. And I want you to skip page 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start your search looking at the results on page 6. And I'll explain to you why. 100% of the people are going to look at page 1. 80% to 90% are going to look at page 2. 50% are going to look at page 3, 30% are going to look at page 4, 10% are going to look at page 5, and by page 6, everyone's gone. You're the only one now looking at these products. Okay? So you start searching and looking through them. And you look at them one by one, and you ask yourself the question, do I believe that this might resonate and sell in my market? It's that simple. You ask yourself that question. And if you have understanding and knowledge of your niche, you can come up with some great products that your competitors are not even trying to sell. But Chris, these aren't proven sellers. How do I know they're going to sell? You don't. You don't. Which is why you need to learn how to test cheaply, which is a method that topic for a different video, which I really teach my students. I really push. That's another reason why my students are successful. Is I say, fucking read the data. If the data doesn't show promise from the beginning, move on. Okay? And it's all data driven. And I have a whole data system that I've taught my students. I see Christopher on this video watching this. You can talk about that. Okay, so anyway, it's a data-driven business. But the point is this. Okay, so yes, you don't know they're going to sell, but that's the whole point. Is that's the hidden gold. Okay, now guys, this brings us to an important topic. How does something end up on page 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10? Right? I remember back a long time ago when I was doing dropshipping, I found a necklace on page it was a grandma necklace, page 23. I said, man, that's awesome. That can sell. And then I sold thousands of them. Okay. So how does something end up there? Okay. Well, first of all, AliExpress favors manufacturing companies or sellers, right? They call them sellers, right? Who've been on their platform for a long time. So if someone, like for a manufacturer from Guangzhou, right, who's been using AliExpress a long time and stuff, they will get a higher ranking. Okay. Plus, so a newer manufacturer's got less chance of being high ranked. So that's why they don't show up. And that's why they don't get found. And that's why they don't end up being selling. And the other thing is this. If something doesn't sell quickly on AliExpress, it goes down on the search, right? So what that essentially means is that whether it's relevant search or best sellers, everyone's looking at the same stuff. And so all this great stuff creeps to a point where people don't view it. I don't know why my thing is tilting here. I remember my microphone's a bit heavy. I bought this new awesome mic, and I put it on the side of my phone, my iPhone 11 Pro. I got to balance it, get better balance my gimbal because the sound's amazing, but it's heavy and it's sort of leaning my gimbal. I need to get a better gimbal. Upgraded my mic, but now I need to upgrade my gimbal possibly here. Not my gimbal, but my tripod, or whatever you want to stand, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, so that's a different story. But so that's what happens, guys. Is that these things don't get noticed. They drop down in search. So there's millions and millions of hidden gold on AliExpress that you can sell, but you just have to be willing to test it. And I don't want you to just test stuff randomly. You should test stuff based on your gut feeling that it could work. And to have that gut feeling, you got to have market research. Okay. Now here's another one, right? And this is the one I was going to tell you guys. And I've only ever talked about this one other time in my life. No, sorry. 2 other times. 2 times. Sorry. I did do it once for Nick's group, and I did it once at a Netpreneur Summit in Tokyo. Okay, so other than my coaching and mastermind students, I've talked about this twice. Okay? Outside of them. All right? And that is using a thesaurus. And now you're probably thinking to yourself, what the fuck, use a thesaurus? What does that have to do with dropshipping and product research? Well, it's everything to do with it, okay? Think about this, okay? China has got 1 billion people, okay? And I spent a lot of time traveling in China when I was back in the corporate world, okay? There's about 100 million to 200 million highly educated Chinese, okay? And they work in big companies and stuff in Shanghai and the cities. And by the way, this is not an anti-China thing. I'm just trying to give you guys the facts, okay? This is not anti-China thing. My ex-wife is Chinese, okay? I studied in Taiwan. I've been to mainland China a lot. I like China, okay? I have a lot of respect for that. So this is not an anti-China thing. I'm just trying to give you some data to give you a perspective to understand why what I'm about to teach you works, okay? There's maybe 200 million educated Chinese who speak a reasonable level of English at various levels. They can have a conversation, okay? And there are another maybe 100 million who can read, okay? And with the exception of a few people, these are not the people working in the factories making this stuff. They're not even the managers, right? You may have one, like sort of, can speak a little English, maybe read a little bit, manager in a gadget manufacturing company in Xinjiang, okay, or Guangzhou, right? They're not working in the cities at a bank or international company or even a Chinese company and dealing with overseas people. So their English level is low. It's low. So what happens is they take a Chinese name and they use Google Translate to translate it. Or they use a thesaurus, right? Or a Chinese English dictionary, and they'll see all sorts of different options for pick a word. And the word they choose is bizarre. The word they choose to use is bizarre. And so if you search necklace, for example, in the thesaurus, and you go like the thing brooch or bracelet, and there's all sorts of stuff. And then you go on, you say photography, whatever. Not necklace, right? Something different. You're going to find tons of stuff that no one's never looked at because they didn't think to search that way. And by the way, people ask me, how did you figure that out, Chris? I mean, that is bizarre because I live in Asia for a long time, guys. I lived in Asia for 24 years in Japan, a year in Taiwan. So I've been here for a long time, guys. And you would be shocked. I mean, even in Japan, it's unbelievable. Restaurants will make a sign with the most bizarre English. They actually paid money to have this sign on the wall or in the front of their business with the most weird English. And they're getting this from translation software or Japanese to English dictionaries. And then this occurred to me back in 2015. I'm like, if the Japanese are doing the same thing, what are the Chinese manufacturers doing? The exact same thing. And then sure enough, many of my students have found winning products, and I found winning products by doing this. Just looking at the weird words that they could possibly be using for a necklace or for bracelet or for whatever it is you want to sell. So search photography, whatever the item is, but instead of using the word that would be most natural to a native English speaker or to a good English speaker, go into the thesaurus and find the bizarre words that are possible. And then search by those bizarre words. You're going to be shocked what you find. And these are thousands of products that people have never thought of. Or, your competitors never saw. All right. Now, let's talk about print on demand, okay? I thought about print on demand a lot, but one of my favorite techniques is to take half of an expression from one thing and a half of an expression from another. Okay. In the past, guys, I've talked about searching other niches for whatever your niche is, right? So, say you're targeting fishing, right? We'll search in the beer niche, search in the wine niche, search other niches, right? And just try to twist the expressions. But one thing that I teach my students to do is take another step further. Okay? Another step further. Take one expression from one shirt and another expression from another shirt and combine them together and see if you can come up with something. It's difficult. To be honest, it's not easy. But that's the whole point. The fact that it's not easy makes it great because that idea you come up with is unique. It's unique. Okay? So I'm going to wrap up this video, but what I really want to emphasize here is, guys, instead of throwing crap at the wall and just copying what everyone else is doing, spend some time and effort and come up with unique ideas. Then you can find something that can sell thousands of units a week. Now, obviously, I can't say you can do that, right? I mean, I'm not gonna guarantee. I don't buy into the crap at all. I will never, ever guarantee results, period. That's bullshit. McDonald's sends you a franchise. They give you everything. And McDonald's franchises fail all the time. But I have a large amount of students who are successful following my methods. And one of the reasons why we're successful is we focus on unique stuff. One unique product test is worth a lot more than 10 regurgitated crap. So stop throwing shit at the wall and hoping it stinks. All right? If that's the one thing you got out of this video, that's a major step. Okay? If you're interested in my private coaching, private mentoring, I can take one student at this time. If you're interested in my mastermind, go to ecomvantage.com, VANTAGE.com. I call it Vantage because you have an unfair advantage if you're my mastermind or course group. Cheers. We'll see you in the next video. And they say in Japanese, kanpai.